4 high schools, 7 middle schools, 1 college, and a university, and much more. Now introducing your most comprehensive weekly local sports show in Madison County, the Richmond Register Sports Show. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Here's your host for all things local sports, the Richmond Register sports editor, Nathan Hutchinson.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. My name is Nathan Hutchinson. I'm the sports editor of the Richmond Register, and we very much appreciate you checking out our program this week. We have a jam-packed show for you tonight. In addition to a recap of the previous week in Madison County sports, we have the Madison Central Volleyball team on with us. They won the 44th District Tournament on Tuesday, and we have Coach Elizabeth Morrow along with Lily Dobbins and Anani Hughley. And then after that, we have EKU football coach Walt Wells for the first time on our show, so we're very happy to have him. So we got a lot of stuff to get to, so we'll jump right in, and we will talk about 44th District Volleyball. It started, it was Monday and Tuesday last week over at Model, and the first semifinal matchup was Madison Central and Model, and it was the Lady Indians rolling to a 3-0 win over Model, 25-6, 25-8. 25-8, Avery Rigney and Hughley with 5 kills each. Brought an end to a really successful season for the Model Lady Patriots. They finished 7-17, and that may not sound like an impressive record, but this is the 3rd year of the program, and in the first 2 years of the program, they didn't win one single match. So it was a huge step forward for the program. And after the match, we got a chance to talk to head coach Ellie Turner, who's in her first season, and Yvonne Gonzalez, assistant coach.
All right, we're here at Model Lab School for the 44th District Tournament. The Model Lady Patriots wrapped up their season tonight with a 3-0 loss to Madison Central. That's Yvonne Gonzalez. That's head coach Ellie Turner. And ladies, it was 7 wins this year. Is the most ever in the 3-year history of the program. So Ellie, just talk about how far this program has come. With 0 wins, 7 wins. So a big step forward.
They really worked hard all year long, all throughout the program's history, which is short, but they've been working hard on the basics of volleyball, and they've continued that since June of this summer, just working every single day. We're in the gym, working on those basic foundational skills so we can get some wins, and we finally got some. Yeah.
Yvonne, talk about how far they've come.
So this was my second season with the Lady Patriots, so it's been just really good to see them, like Coach Ellie said, grow fundamentally. And I feel like this 3rd year, they've already been with each other for the most part since the very beginning, a lot of the girls. So building that relationship, starting to trust each other a little more, and just understanding how volleyball works. It clicked for a lot of girls. And then we've seen some girls first year on the program, and they did a really good job towards the end because they really worked hard and improved. So.
Okay. Well, take me back about a month ago when you guys got that first win down at the Berea tournament. The first win in the history of the program. What was that moment like?
It was great. It was so validating for the girls. They could finally, celebrate that victory that they'd worked so hard for. They could, see it, and it was real. It was theirs. They worked hard for it. They earned it. It was awesome. It was such a good moment for everybody.
Yeah. Talking about the 4 seniors. They've been with the program, I think, the whole time, right?
Yes. So we had 6 seniors this season, but Liz Dickerson, Marie Whitehouse, Leah Smith, Rachel McClure, and Wendy Williams were the 5 seniors that had been with us from the beginning of the program, and then Sophia Hahn joined this season. And just kind of like I mentioned earlier, watching them last season, play really tough, kind of start to, again, build that relationship with each other, trust each other on the court, and just seeing that really develop this season. I remember the first match of the season, just watching all that come to fire and parents coming up and saying, hey, these girls did really well today. So just having that reassurance from even the parents that have been around from the very beginning. It was really sad. I know they were really upset today after it being their last game here on the home court, but I have a feeling that they'll stick around and probably help their other generations coming up.
All right. Well, congratulations on a great season. We'll see you next year.
Thank you.
Congratulations to the Model volleyball team. They're starting to gain some steam after a couple of years. And, hey, it's tough when you come into a district where 3 other teams have established programs and you're trying to catch up. It's kind of hard to do, but they're heading in the right direction. So congratulations to Coach Ellie Turner and her kids, and keep moving forward. In the other semifinal on Monday night, it was Madison Southern and Berea Community. And Madison Southern picked up a 3-0 win, 25-18, 25-17, 25-23. But that score certainly does not indicate how close this match was, and in particular in the third set, Berea Community was up 18-11. That prompted Madison Southern coach Jeremy Grant to call a timeout and to get a little loud with his team. But he definitely lit a fire under them. They won the next 5 points and came back and picked up the win. It was Kayla Adkins for Madison Southern with 15 assists, 9 kills, and 7 digs. And Sophia Dobbins, 25 digs and 11 kills. And afterwards, we got a chance to talk to Jeremy Grant and Allie Skidmore about the win over Berea Community.
We are here at Model Lab School for the 44th District Volleyball Tournament, where the Madison Southern Lady Eagles picked up a 3-0 win over Berea, but 3-0, but it certainly wasn't that easy. Coach Jeremy Grant, Allie Skidmore. Coach, you guys were down, 18-11 in the third set. You called a timeout, and you told me if you called a timeout, you kept putting it off because you knew you were going to yell at him, and you did.
Yeah, it's we talked about, we hadn't, I thought our hitters played really well, but our energy wasn't good tonight. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of were able to get through those first 2 sets, and I was like, hey, let's go out here, get this third set, get some energy, kind of get some good momentum going. And I think like their first 9 points were our mistakes. And like I said, I've done this long enough, I kind of felt it growing, and I was like, all right, I'm going to take a timeout, and then we would go out and get 2 or 3 points. And I was like, okay, they're getting it back together. But when it got to 18-11, we were kind of getting to a no man's land. And that was the thing I told them, was like Berea, they wanted to win. They were out there playing super hard, and like you said, they were going after every ball, and they weren't letting anything die. And we were just kind of out there standing, thinking, we're going to win just because, we think we're the better team.
Allie, you light a fire under your butts there.
I did.
And his little talk definitely got you guys going.
Yeah, it definitely did. It did. It always does. Every time he yells, we're like, oh gosh, okay.
Okay, yeah, your hitters got going. I think Julia had a couple of kills in a row.
Yeah.
Chase had a kill, so it really got rolling there.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the momentum like feeling like on the court?
I mean, at first it was like we were all down. There was nothing. And then after Grant yelled at us, we were all kind of just like, we want to go play Central. Berea is a great team. It's always fun playing them, but we just need to get up and play volleyball like we know how to play volleyball.
Yeah, and you get up 2-0. Maybe you're looking ahead a little bit.
Yes,
maybe a little bit of a letdown there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it happens. All right. Well, Central versus Southern, Tuesday night, 6:30 here at Model. We'll see you guys then tomorrow.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Well, that loss to Madison Southern ended the season for Berea Community. They ended up with a 20-10 record, and those 20 wins are a school record. And after the game, we got a chance to talk to Jared Penn, Haley Strong, and Autumn Masters, the coaching staff here. And what's interesting to note is Jared Penn and his daughter Haley have been co-coaching the team for the past couple of years. And this was Jared's last game. He is officially stepping away from it. Some say walking, stepping away from it after this. And Haley will take over full-time as the head coach along with some help from Autumn Masters. So this was Jared's last game, so we wish him the best going forward. And we got a chance to talk to them after the game.
All right, we're here at Model Lab School for the 44th District Tournament, and Berea Community falls in the first round of the tournament to Madison Southern 3-0, but it was a great effort from the Lady Pirates, and this is their coaching staff. We have Autumn Masters, and Haley Strong, and Jared Penn, and I guess we'll start off with Haley. You guys put up a heck of an effort. You guys over 18-11 in the third set there, so they came out ready to play and gave Southern all they wanted.
Yes, I think that whenever people see Berea, a lot of times they underestimate us, and the whole goal with us coaching was to change that mentality. And I think that the girls that we have and the girls that we have coming up, we have worked very hard to change that, and I think it's finally happening.
Yeah, you played here, and Autumn, you played here too, so kind of what does it mean for you to see those girls go out there and play that hard?
Everyone was crying at the end of the game because they were like, oh, it's over, I can't believe they did so good, but I started tearing up in the middle of the second set. I was like, I can't believe they're doing this great. They've proven themselves so much this season, and for them to come at the districts and do so well against such a strong rival that we've never played this well against.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So I was proud of them before it was even over.
And Jared, it was 20 wins, a school record this year, so it would have been nice to get that 21, but 20 is still pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm proud of them. I'm proud of my daughter. I'm proud of Autumn. I coached both of them. So they've definitely stepped it up this year. They've done a heck of a job coaching. And the girls, you saw them. Yeah. There's not been a Berea team out there like this yet. And we're only going to get better. We're going to keep building and keep getting better and better.
Yeah.
This is my last game.
Yeah, you said that. I heard that on the bench afterwards.
I'm going to help do some behind-the-scenes stuff. I'll help schedule games, stuff like that. But I got some health problems, so I got to step down. So, but I'm leaving it in very capable hands. Very capable hands.
Well, you know, you can't.
Hitter duo is back.
You know, you can't get rid of him, Haley. He'll still be around, right?
Yeah, he'll always be around. So I might be lucky.
All right, well, it was a fantastic match, great season. Like I said, school record 20 wins, so lots to be proud of. So thanks for taking some time to talk to us.
Thank you.
All right, best of luck to Jared and to Haley and Autumn as they move forward as the coaching staff at Berea. So those results from Monday night set up a showdown on Tuesday night between Madison Central and Madison Southern in the district final for the 10th consecutive year. Madison Southern had won the past two, but this year Madison Central swept the regular season series, picking up 2 3-0 wins. But the district championship game, it was a good one. Madison Southern came out and won the first set. Central won the second and third. Southern won the fourth, and it was Madison Central 15-10 in the fifth set. The fifth set only goes to 15 points, but they did come back and pick up a 3-2 win in a very competitive, very exciting game over there at Model. It was Kayla Adkins for Madison Southern, 14 kills, 26 assists, 19 digs. Julia Bingham for Southern had 12 kills and 8 digs. Avery Rigney with 18 kills, and Anaya Hughley with 10 kills for Central, and also Kirsten Osborne and Journey Mezzandorino, 23 assists each. So after that championship excitement, we had a chance to talk to Elizabeth Morrow, the head coach, along with 3 of her seniors, Sophie Hiles, Mary Carol Adams, and Michaela Morin.
Okay, we are here at Model Lab School where the Madison Central Lady Indians have reclaimed the district championship for the first time since 2018. Coach Elizabeth Morrow, Sophie Hiles, Michaela Morin, and Mary Carol Adams. Ladies, I think it's no secret that this is going to be Elizabeth's last year. Did you really want to get this one for her?
For sure. I mean,
all going out together.
That's right.
3 seniors and the coach. So.
Yeah.
But,
Well, we're missing a senior. Ella went in.
Okay. Let her get away. But kind of, what has she meant to you guys over the years?
I mean, she's taught us so much. And go ahead.
She believes in us. She's the one who motivates us, pushes us to do our best every day.
Yeah. And even when we're not doing the best, she knows we can do it. She really pushes us.
I've known Morrow since I was a baby. She's been my bestie.
She's a Sunday school baby.
Well, Elizabeth, like I said, what did it mean to you? I mean, obviously you've got to go into the region next week too. We don't want to pretend like the season's over. You still got games to play. But what does this mean to you being your last year?
It means a lot, especially the talent that was on this team. I know that there's been several times when we've gotten tied in different situations, and usually we won those and we were down to no subs, and these girls just pull it together, and they work pretty well together. As far as on the team, I wish they'd talk a little more, and we missed a little bit too many serves in what we've done, but they wanted it. Southern clearly wanted it. It's just that we came out, and when we really needed it at crunch time, they didn't choke. They went for it, and I'm proud of them. Very proud of these girls.
After they lose the first set, what's the talk like there in the huddle after the first set?
We're going to put it behind us.
Yeah. That's when we need to really bring it together, figure it out. I mean,
Forget about it, move on to the next set.
Yep.
Yeah. Was there any moment there in the fifth set in particular, Coach or any of you guys, you think that was kind of a turning point there or anything, or kind of they went back and forth like the whole thing on match did?
All year I've told these girls, when you're the team that gets to 8 first, 93% of the time you win it.
In the
fifth set. So when we got to 8 first, I thought, okay. Sometimes though you kind of see them relax a little bit, but the one thing this team has done all year, they kind of will make suggestions to each other out on the court, and they do it. They coach themselves sometimes, which is something that I don't feel we've had in a while, and I think that's good. So yeah. I'm proud of all of them.
All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, congratulations to Elizabeth and those 3 seniors for collecting their first district championship since 2018. Because, like I said, Southern had won the past 2, so a little payback for the Lady Indians. And of course, Central and Southern will both advance on to the 11th region tournament, and that will start Monday, on tomorrow. And host sites for the first round are the district winners. So Madison Central will play host to Frederick Douglass. Madison Southern will make the trip to Paul Lawrence Dunbar. Franklin County will be at Bryan Station, and Tates Creek will be at Great Crossing. The semifinals are Wednesday at Great Crossing, and the final is Thursday at Great Crossing. Madison Southern and Dunbar did not play during the regular season, and Central and Douglas did not play during the regular season. But these four teams are all still very familiar with each other. Madison Southern lost to Dunbar in the first round of the 11th Region Tournament last year, and Madison Central actually beat Frederick Douglass in the 2018 11th Region Tournament. So some very familiar foes there. So good luck to both those teams on Monday night, and you can read all about that in the paper. We'll be at the Central matchup here in Richmond, and we'll have a report on the Southern Dunbar game as well. The KHSAA cross-country regionals were held on Saturday, and the two regions that involved Madison County schools were both held at Masterson Station Park. The Class 3A Region 7 meet, which included Madison Central and Madison Southern, and the Class A Region 5 meet, which included Model and Berea. We'll start with the Class 3A meet, and it was Madison Central sweeping the team and individual titles. For the boys, the 5th straight region title for them. They had finished with 36 points and beat out Southwestern, who had 72 points. Second straight region championship for the girls, and they had 43 points and beat out West Jessamine by just 3 points. But as expected, the individual champions were no surprise. Brady Masters, second straight region title for that young man, 15-48-52, and won by over a minute. Carter Lamb was 6th, Stephen Lockmuller was 7th, Brody Campbell was 9th, and Elijah Carrico was 13th. And on the girls' side, of course, it was Kiara O'Shea. Easily 17-55-98, won by almost 2 minutes. That is her 4th straight individual region title heading into next week's state tournament. Amelia Reynolds was 7th, Shelby Lamb was 8th, Michaela Beckett was 12th, and Jamie Google was 15th. In the Class 3A state championship will be this weekend, Saturday, up at Paris in the Bourbon County Park up in Paris. And of course, heading into that, Kiara O'Shea is the 3-time defending state champion, Class 3A state champion, and Brady Masters has been the runner-up each of the past 2 years, but he will be the heavy favorite to win his first state title in his senior season, so that would be a perfect way to finish off his high school career. So the Class A meet was earlier in the day on Saturday at Masterson Station Park, and the Berea Community girls finished with 150 points and finished in 5th place, which gave them an automatic bid to the KHSAA state championships. Riley Gullett, 23:01:89 for 17th place. Lily Lewis in 30th, Jillian Witt in 32nd, Margaret Bannerman 37th, and Sydney Moore in 51st place. Model girls finished 10th, led by Amelia Lanier, who finished 18th with a 23:05:91, and she gets an at-large bid to the KHSAA state championship. On the boys' side, model finished 10th, and it was Sahil Cuddy Poffenberg with a 19:02:82, finishing in 5th place, and he gets an at-large bid to the state championships. And for Berea boys, they were 12th, led by Braden Thacker, who was 45th. And the Class A state championship race is also on Saturday up in Bourbon County Park in Paris. So the Class 2A race is on Friday, the Class A and Class 3A are on Saturday. Moving along to high school football, and we had a much anticipated, exciting matchup Friday in Richmond. The regular season district championship was on the line when Bryan Station came to Madison Central, both teams ranked in the top 10. Both teams 7-1, both teams had won 7 straight. And we got the battle that we expected, and it was Bryan Station 21, Madison Central 13. So Madison Central will be the number 2 seed heading into the playoffs in a couple of weeks. They will face Oldham County in the first round at home, while Bryan Station will be the number 1 seed and face GRC. Central had just a dominant running performance the past 2 weeks against district foes, racking up almost 400 yards a game against Oldham County and GRC. 9 yards a carry, basically just absolutely shredding teams on the ground. Only had 188 yards against Bryan Station. The defenders kind of came in knowing they had to stop the run, and they were able to do that. Brady Hensley, 21 carries for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns for Madison Central. Adrian Parks, 10 carries for 57 yards, and Hagan Harrison was 7 for 18 for 82 yards. Brady Hensley had a touchdown with a 2:55 left that got Central within a point at 14-13. The Indian coaching staff decided to go for the 2-point conversion, and that failed. So Station was able to get the ball back with the lead, and they salted away the victory with a long touchdown pass with 1:02 to go. So Central will wrap up the regular season this Friday with a trip down to Southwestern. Berea Community was looking to snap a long district losing streak on Friday night at home against Frankfort, and they did not do that, and it was a game that kind of turned a little bit ugly, folks. It was Frankfort picking up a 40-8 win over the Pirates in a game that was called with 6 minutes and 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter. There were 3 separate incidents of just ugliness in this game, but in particular in the third quarter during a kickoff, a huge fight broke out along the Frankfort sidelines involving both teams and coaches and parents and all kinds of it. Got really, really ugly. The teams were warned after that. There was another incident a few minutes later, and then with about 6:38 left, there was another kind of a little skirmish broke out, and the officials stepped in and said, "That's it. We're done." We shut it down. So it goes down as a 40-8 win for Frankfort. That drops Berea Community to 3-6 on the season, 0-3 in the district. They will be the number 4 seed in the district coming into the playoffs in a couple of weeks, and we'll have to go on the road again to face Kentucky Country Day in the opening round of the playoffs. It was Jaden Cunningham with the touchdown run in the second half for the only score for Berea in that one. And the Pirates will wrap up the regular season on Friday night with a long trip down to Jellicoe, Tennessee. And Madison Southern football was off this past week. It was a regularly scheduled off week. It wasn't a COVID cancellation or anything like that, which I know everybody just assumes nowadays when we say they didn't play that something must have happened. But no, it was a regular scheduled week off for them. They will wrap up the regular season at home Friday night against Franklin County. They will be the 4 seed coming out of their district as well, which means a road playoff game for the Eagles. And EKU football was also off this week, and they'll be back in action this Saturday at home against Lamar at Roy Kidd Stadium, 2 p.m. They've won 4 straight, and they are one of only 2 undefeated teams left in the AQ7. Defending national champion Sam Houston State is 3-0, and EKU is 2-0. So, and Lamar is 2-5 and 0-3 in the AQ7. So, one other little note pass along: Madison Southern senior wrestler Rocky Whitehead signed to go to college this past week, and he's the first Madison Southern wrestler to ever do that. So I wanted to say congratulations to him, making a little history out there. We'll have a story on him in the paper this week, so look for that. Just didn't have time this week to get to that, but we will get you in there, Rocky, and good luck to you, and of course a heck of a football player too, so as well. So well, we got a lot of stuff coming up, so don't go anywhere, because I know it's a long show this week, but don't go anywhere. We got a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of fun stuff. Especially we had a lot of fun with Elizabeth Morrow, and had a lot of fun with Coach Walt Wells. It was all interviews we filmed earlier in the week, so you're going to see I'm wearing a different shirt in those interviews. So you go, well, hey, why is he wearing a different shirt? So we did these earlier in the week because I was out of town over the weekend. So a lot of fun. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you stay all the way to the end. There's a smoking finish to this show. So we'll be right back after these brief messages.
Do you want to sponsor the weekly Richmond Register Sports Show? Contact the Richmond Register, richmondregister.com, and of course on Facebook or Twitter. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox, or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.
Good morning. I'm here with Travis Grant for his second win for the IHOP Pancake Block of the Week for the game against GRC. Give him his trophy, his second year of pancakes free, and another gift card. Congratulations. Thank you.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
Welcome back. Well, we are joined by our old friend, Madison Central volleyball coach Elizabeth Morrow.
Old.
I think I just called us both old. Yeah.
Realistically old.
I think we both are old. Because
over 20 years.
We've been doing this forever, haven't we? Well, you have bugged me all year that you wanted to be on this show, so welcome.
Oh, yeah, welcome. But that's after you had already let that team down south on here twice. So
only once. Only once. Only on here once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was
yeah,
on,
but
he
last
was on the
year
first episode.
I was not invited last year,
okay.
and I was here, so twice.
Oh, okay. All right.
Although I like Coach Grant.
Yeah, we like Jeremy too. It's okay. But the Madison Central Lady Indians did recapture the district title on Tuesday night over at Model for the first time since 2018. Southern had beat you 2 years in a row. You got a little revenge, and man, it was a lot of fun. But I'm sure it was fun from a fan's perspective. I'm sure from your perspective, it was not. It was very nerve-wracking.
It was a little stressful, very hot,
yeah,
but very stressful. But you know, like I've told you before, it's really hard to beat a team 3 times. Really hard, and they came out, and we weren't as sharp as we can be.
Yeah.
But we will be come Monday when we play Frederick Douglass.
That's right. 11th region tournament gets underway. We just had the draw on Thursday, and so I thought the draw wasn't until Saturday, but then I got a text, and there's the draw. So first round is Monday. You guys will play host to Frederick Douglass, and Madison Southern will go up to Paul Orange Dunbar. Both those games at 6 o'clock. So you guys didn't play Frederick Douglass this year, so it's kind of scouting
we didn't.
report.
We thought maybe we might see them in a tournament this year, but unfortunately we did not. We ended up in a different bracket than they did, and just our schedules didn't work out. So
you'll be going through the huddle video the
right,
next couple of nights,
yeah,
trying to find as much info
yes.
as you can. You guys are 21-12 on the season. You won 7 of your last 8. This is a pretty young team. Only the 4 seniors, but you guys had a little bit of ups and downs, especially in the middle of the season. But it seems like you guys are finishing up strong here, and they're kind of finding an identity and playing pretty well.
Right. You know, COVID kind of shut us down in the beginning, and then it kind of shut us down again in the middle, and you know that's kind of been rough. But other than that, I felt like we played a pretty well balanced season. We had some teams that we should really beat. We had some teams that I knew would be close, and then I thought the girls stepped up and played very well. They're a close-knit group, I feel, for the most part. So
yeah, we had a video of them earlier, but we talked to you after the match, and we had the 3 of your 4 seniors on the little video we did.
Right.
That's an interesting group of kids, though, because you've been with them for a long time, have a history with them, and 3 of them are really just kind of defensive players, which, like I mentioned the other night, in volleyball they don't get a lot of glory.
No,
you know, being on the back row.
Right.
But it's a hard-working group of kids, and they've been here for a long time. You've known Mary Carol Adams since
she was 2.
Since she was 2. So just talk about that group.
You know, that group, my daughter actually coached them as freshmen when she came for a brief stint because Coach Kinley needed another freshman coach, and she helped out there. So I kind of would help out a little bit when I could. And those 4 girls were very coachable. They grew a lot. They worked hard. They I don't know. They're just very close. Sometimes a little too close. But I've enjoyed watching them progress. Sophie, probably out of that group, has been my most improved. Her hitting is a lot stronger this year, and her blocking was a lot better this year than it has been in the past. So.
Yeah, 90 kills and 53 blocks.
Right.
So she had a really good year, and. You've got a good core up there at the net, attacking core. We're going to talk to one of them here in just a minute.
Right.
But with Anania and Avery and then Addison, and you guys have some powerful hitters and some good blockers.
Yeah, Skylar Whitaker's coming along as well. She's improved. If I picked a most improved from last year as far as the hitting goes, it would probably go to Skylar, in my opinion. She's learned how to transition better off the net and get her body in position to hit, and she just works hard. So does Anania, so does Avery. They all do. So they've all of them play club. So and I think that's when you do get some touches on the off season, you tend to grow a whole lot. Like this whole entire team compared to last year, if you take out those 4 seniors. They're freshmen and sophomores, and they're going to be something to reckon with next year. It'll be exciting to watch. I'm not going to go very far. I'm going to watch. Maybe I'll be that scorekeeper that they can't find.
Well, you went there, so I'm going to go there. So are you actually sure you're not going to come back this time? Because
No.
I've heard you say you're not going to come back.
I'm not. I am not. I am not.
This is like the
back.
second or third time,
Yes,
girls, that
it
we've heard
is.
this. No.
If the person that had taken it the first time hadn't resigned 2 weeks before we thought we were going to start season July 15th last year, I wouldn't have been back.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to watch a program that I started in 99, 2000 as an intramural flush down the toilet. And now, I feel hopefully, of course there'll be an interview process, but I'm hoping that Kiana Morrow will stay on. hopefully as our head coach, she gets hired that way. And of course, Katie Stewart is one of our assistants, and then they'll find somebody else. But no, I'm not. I've got too much. I've got some other family stuff I need to do and take care of. So.
Yeah, but no, it's like we've joked all year about the other Maura was going to take over
The
now,
other
which of course
Maura.
is not related to you at all,
No.
which is just ironic that your names are the same.
It is.
But she did
With the same middle name as my daughter,
Wow.
Danielle.
Well-
So there you go.
Well, and she played in the same.
Yeah, same.
It was in the same
She
league as
was
you.
West Virginia Tech, and yes, and Brooke was at Alderson Broadus in West Virginia. So,
Yeah, so they
they
played-
actually played against each other and didn't know it.
Yeah, well,
Same age.
Yeah, it comes all full circle.
There you go.
So that was your 4th district title, and I have to mention that's the 10th for the school, but you only have 4. Marita has 6.
Well, you know what? Here's the deal. I groomed.
You were assistant. with her on
I
all those.
groomed Marita. And
The dean of students.
that's right, dean of students.
We call her
but,
dean. We call her dean. Ken.
You know, she actually started down at that school down south.
Oh.
She did with Elaine Phillips. First year. And then I took her.
Because of course she played at EKU.
She did.
Yeah.
She did play at EKU, and she almost had Gavin at a volleyball tournament. We've talked about that numerous times when we had Madison Mustangs going.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been a lot of fun, and you got at least one more ride.
I do.
And then
I do.
you know, and hopefully more. If you
I do.
you
My
guys can-
husband said he's
you guys
coming
can-
out to watch, and I'm like, why? You might jinx us. I said, you haven't been there all year. Why? But
Yeah.
there is one thing.
What's that?
We are continuing our Mad Pink fundraiser, which is buying paper volleyballs that we put on a memory or honor banner that's hung in our gym. So if anybody at the football game, if you come out tomorrow night for our football game, we will be selling those, or you can just make a donation, and I can fill out the balls for you in memory of or in honor of, or you can just make a donation, and all the proceeds are going to Baptist Health Cancer Assistance Care Program of Richmond, which is a program where if a patient needed help with medical or rides or just even some of the expenses because they're long-term, they will pay for it. I kind of quote it like the Ronald McDonald House, but it's a good cause, and all the money, 100% of it, will go straight back here to Richmond.
Yeah,
So.
awesome. Well, they will be at home Monday night. It will be Frederick Douglass, and after that, where it goes to Frankfurt. After that, right? If you get to the semis.
No, Great Crossing.
Okay, Frankfurt
Yeah.
is the host.
Right, they're
technically the host school, but it won't be at Frankfurt.
I don't think so. I mean, I might be misspoken
Okay.
here because Austin Haywood from Great Crossing's the one who hosted it. So.
Okay, all right. Well, Jeremy told me it was Frankfurt. So maybe
Well,
Jeremy was right.
I don't know.
So they are playing 6 o'clock here in
click it.
Richmond. And
Hold on, you want to start that over? Sorry, I didn't know that was on.
Let me scrub it and just keep going. Just keep going.
Okay.
It's all right.
All right, 6 o'clock.
No, but guys are at home at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
First round of the 11th region tournament
Right.
against a really good Frederick Douglass team. So it'll be a challenge. But
Yeah,
hey.
come on out and support us, everybody.
Yeah, it's
So.
fun. Yeah, some good student sections last
Yeah,
couple of weeks.
we have.
and,
We have.
you
We've
know.
got great fans. We love our fans.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, I'd say I'll miss you, but I'll miss you, but you'll still be around.
I'll be around. I'm
Yeah.
kind of like that mole with the hair. It doesn't go away.
I always say I'm around the Richmond Register. I'm like the cockroach they can't kill. So
Yeah, there you go.
I've been there so long. So, well,
Or
thanks.
Maybe you're a cockroach and I'm a stink bug.
Sounds fine.
There you go.
I've been called worse than that. I'm sure you have too, being a coach for
yeah.
all these years.
And then some.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming by. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank
And
you.
We're going to have Sophie Hiles and Lily Dobbins.
We got Lily Dobbins and Anna
Hughley.
Hughley.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really prepared tonight. I tell you.
You want to scrub that and reintroduce them?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
No, actually, I think if you're not going to coach anymore, you can just be my co-host every week here if you want.
Oh, well, there you go.
There
I
you
can
go.
do that. I can do that. I'll get the libero name right.
Yes.
There we
that's,
go.
That's an inside joke. So it's a 9 joke. We'll say that. So,
Okay.
But it's okay. All right. But we'll be right back with Lily Dobbins and Anna Hughley.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. and by kymedia.net. Digital media solutions on your terms.
All right, we are back with Central volleyball players Lily Dobbins and Anani Hughley. Thanks for coming over, ladies. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Well, congratulations on recapturing the district title. I'll ask Lily this first. Southern had beaten you the last 2 years, so just what was it like to be able to beat them and get that title back?
It was a really good feeling because we've been wanting to beat them for a long time,
Yeah.
and since we beat them all 3 games this season, it was like a much bigger victory. Since I think it's harder to beat a team multiple times.
Oh yeah, definitely. And they took the first set from you, though, so kind of, but it didn't seem like there was any panic from you guys. You kind of regrouped. They were very excited. You guys seemed to be just calm and relaxed, and you won the second and third sets. So kind of, what was said after that first set there? Anything big, or you just kind of?
No, we just had to we just knew we had to get ourselves together, and we knew we could beat them. So
yeah,
we just had to recollect.
Yeah. Well, looking ahead to Monday night with Frederick Douglass, like we just said with Coach there, you hadn't played him this year, but you guys both play club. You know a lot of those kids on that team. Can you give us a little scouting report or anything about what you expect out of Frederick Douglass?
A lot of their players are really good, and some of them are committed, so it's definitely going to be a tough game. But I think if we all work together, I think we have the talent to beat them.
Got any thoughts on it?
Yeah, if we just don't take ourselves out mentally, then I think we got it.
Yeah, well, you guys are a fairly young team still with just the 4 seniors, but you guys have finished the season winning 7 of your past 8, the last 8 games, and so kind of talk about how you think this team has kind of blended together and kind of come together over the last couple of months.
I think since last year it was really different because of COVID. We didn't get as close as we could have, and I think this year this is the closest we've all been as a team, so I think that helps on the court because we have more chemistry with each other.
What do you think, Anna?
Yeah, definitely the closest we've been, and it helps a lot. What is the word? Connections with the team.
Well, I mean, obviously it's such a team sport, and it moves so fast, and if you don't have that communication, then it's going to be it's not going to be pretty. So,
yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Lily: how many times do people classmates, friends, family, who don't understand the sport so well, ask you, why are you wearing a different color jersey?
Every time someone comes to the game, they're like, why are you wearing the wrong jersey? It's not the wrong jersey.
Yeah. For those who don't know, it's a libero. It's a defensive position, and and you've done that since forever, right?
This was my first year being libero on the high school team.
Okay.
But I've been libero on my travel teams for the most part.
And you both played at Cottle, right? You came up through Cottle.
Yeah.
You did. And you had a great amount of success there. The program was pretty good, so that kind of prepared you to get to this level. So, and of course, you're up at the net, and you guys have got a great little core of hitters / blockers there with Avery and Madison and you. So just talk about how you guys all work together.
Well, it helps a lot that we're friends, so it's easy to connect with them on the court, knowing when to go up and stuff.
Yeah. What's more fun, a kill or a block?
A kill.
Isn't that fun? When you block, though, isn't that kind of...
It is fun, too, but I think getting a kill is more fun because you get more credit for it.
Yeah. Well, the blocks seem to raise the energy level and kind of get everybody excited. But that's just my opinion. I mean, you're the one out there playing. So
I think it makes the passers happy that we don't
yes, because they don't have to
pass
the ball.
Yeah, that is true. But just 21-12 on the season, and you should have this core group back for a couple of years as well. But talk about those 4 seniors and what they've meant to you, and just what you've taken from them, both of you.
Well, 3 of them are passers, so I pass beside all of them, and I think this is the best DS group we've had in a while because I think we all trust each other in the back row. I think we communicate really well.
Just between all 4 of us, they show us a lot on and off the court, as a person and as a player.
Yeah. Well, you are, guys, this is the last season with Elizabeth as your coach. Maybe, possibly, we never know. She keeps deciding to come back. But just your thoughts on her, any kind of funny stories or anything, or just what she's meant to you, both of you, over these years?
We had a sleepover last week. That was pretty fun. I think it's nice how we have a relationship with her outside of volleyball. So it's not like when she yells at us in games and stuff, it's not like personal because we know her like outside. So I think it helps like have a better relationship and a better like we trust her because we know her outside of practice.
Yeah, like Lily said, it helps a lot that we know her outside of volleyball, not just as a coach.
Well, she's awful funny. You don't have
Yes,
any,
she is. Very funny.
Is there funny lines she always says or anything? Or?
Talking about moles and hair.
She always has like the weirdest analogies.
Yes, she always. On
And,
her
like,
way
we-
here, she was talking about like Beauty and the Beast, and then she always tells us, "Put
Throw-
your heart over.
throw
over
your
the
heart
net,
over
and
the
your
net."
body will follow." But your body is not supposed to even.
Yeah,
go
you
over
can't
the
touch the net.
You're not supposed to touch the net, so like
That's a violation. Of course, she's standing right over there, so it's, so we're having a little fun with her. So, well, congratulations on all your success. Congratulations on the district title. I know you guys obviously wanted to get that one back pretty badly, and it was exciting. And Southern has a good team too, and so it was really those matches are always so much fun. I look forward to those every year. I know. I tell Jeremy and Elizabeth that all the time, that those are like 3 of my favorite things I get to do all year, and especially the paint game where you get to raise the money and everything. So, so congratulations and good luck on Monday.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with EKU football coach Walt Wells.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
We are pleased to be joined by EKU football coach Walt Wells.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming by on the off week.
That's right. That's right. We're trying to enjoy it a little bit, but we're practicing some and doing a lot of recruiting, a lot of film watching, a lot of roster management stuff, and just got out of a meeting a little while ago about all that. So we're just continuing trying to push forward and figure out how all this fits with the transfer portal, everything that's going to happen probably towards the end of the semester here in the season. So it's been a good week.
Yeah, Colonels were 5-2, 2-0 in the AQ7. They won 4 straight, including a dramatic come-from-behind win last week over at Central Arkansas. Coach, you got to feel good about where your team is at. You had some injury issues early, but they've kind of cleared up. You're getting a high level of play from an outstanding quarterback. You got a big play defense, and you got a lot of young kids stepping up. So a lot of things are going right for you guys right now.
Yeah, knock on wood. Knock on wood, it stays that way. But, no doubt about it. Happy with where we're at. Disappointed in a couple of situations we've been in that we could have took care of some business a little better. But overall, really pleased with our football team, our players. I think the leadership we're getting and the effort that we're getting is what we want. We can continue to push the envelope on that, but I think it's good for where we're at in year 2. And then kudos to our staff. I think they've done a great job of teaching these guys what we do and how we do it, and then making game time adjustments and doing things like that. So really pleased with where we're at, and looking forward to the last slide here.
Yeah, week off this week, and then back home against Lamar on October 30th. And I get this from people a lot of times from just out in the community. They're a bit confused about this season, but this season the AQ7 thing is just a 1-year thing.
Correct.
A partnership between the ASUN and the WAC for just 1 year, so that the AQ7 is Abilene Christian, Lamar, Sam Houston State. Now I'm going to have Jacksonville State, Central Arkansas, EKU, and Stephen F. Austin.
Correct.
That's the 7. So that's just for 1 year. So I know a lot of people have. It's like, people ask me, what's the game this week? And I say Tarleton State, and they're like, well, who the heck is that? But this is only a 1-year thing. Next year, there will be an actual ASUN football conference.
Correct.
With 6 or even possibly more teams. But this is just a 1-year thing, so I know it's confusing to people. When I talked to Parker McKinney back over summer, he said it was confusing to him.
I didn't really worry about it. I just knew who we had on the schedule and kind of went that way, and knew we could win a conference if we won all our games, which we still got a chance to do that. And the 3 teams from the ASUN are Central Arkansas, Jacksonville State, and us, and then the other 4 teams are going to be into WAC, and so that's why they decided to call it the AQ7, and I think that stands for Automatic Qualifier 7. And so the winner of these 7 games it gets the automatic qualifier, and then everybody else is up for an at-large bid potentially.
Yeah. And then you got to think, automatic bid for the winner, and you got to think this league is in position to have 1 or 2 at least at-large bids.
I would think at least 2, depending on how it finishes out, maybe even 3. Just my experience with a league like this before in the past, and I think that's probably one of the reasons we made the move.
Yeah. And so I guess it's a bit confusing, but next year there'll be a more consistent.
It'll just be ASUN, and you'll know the 6 to 7 ASUN teams that are conference, and all the other games will be non-conference.
And of course, you brought Jacksonville State and P with you, so there'll be 2 familiar faces there
Correct.
already anyway. So
and Central Arkansas.
Yeah, so there'll be a lot of familiarity there. You guys have played them 3 times.
That's right.
360 days. You're very familiar with those guys.
Unfortunately.
Well, let's start off with that game. You guys were down 35-13 with 8.5 minutes left in the third quarter. You scored the final 25 points in the final 23 minutes to pull out a really just a dramatic win, a gutsy win for your kids. And it's a long bus trip, and to go down there and to do that, and was pretty impressive.
You had to get the win to endure the bus ride back, and that's no disrespect for us. Not it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm all right with it, but it is. It's a testament to our players and our coaches and all our support staff and everybody that's involved in the program, because it's hard to go anywhere and win. It's hard to go anywhere on the road and win, and to go against a good football team like that. And I know the record right now doesn't indicate that, but they are a good football team. I think people will figure that out. They've got 2 quality wideouts that are going to be playing in the NFL. They got a 6-year senior starter at quarterback, and then they've done a nice job on defense. They had a 3rd rounder last year, and so they've got quality players on that team. And to be down like we were, and just we constantly preach to them, don't look at the scoreboard, just play each play like a life of its own, and give us the best version of you. And I know that's boring coach talk, and everybody wants to hear a fire-em-up speech and all that, but none of that happened. It's just we have to challenge them some. We had to adjust as coaches to what they did. They did a nice job in their off week, Coach Brown and his staff, and did some things that we hadn't really seen on film. Them do. We knew what they were. We knew they had the capability of doing it, and everybody does. But
they had an off week before they played.
They played us, so they did some. They put in some run game stuff that we hadn't seen, and a couple routes, and then they played coverages a little different than what they did. They did a nice job of self scouting themselves, and coming out and performing in the first half. And I feel like we kind of just. I don't want to say we didn't give effort, and I don't want any disrespect to Central Arkansas, but we just weren't playing at the level that I knew we could play at. And so when we went in at halftime, I just pulled the coaches together. I told the support staff to go in there and talk to the players and, make sure everything's good, because, you go in there and everybody's bickering and arguing maybe sometimes, and, as coaches, you don't want to see that, And so I kept our coaches over here, and we talked about how we were going to attack things and just be positive and find ways to put these guys in position to make plays. And both Andy and Jake did a great job of that, and Kevin McKeithen had a solid plan in special teams. And they came out and executed. And players win games. We know that. Coaches lose them. And so they came out and won the game for us.
Yeah, 3 field goals from Patrick Nation, 3 touchdowns from Patrick McKinney, and another rushing touchdown. 4 straight games with the rushing Parker. I called him.
That's all right.
Parker, not Patrick Nation's Parker McKinney. I got it. I'll get it. But Parker just playing at a really high level. And his 40-yard touchdown run at the end there was the one that gave you the lead for the first time in the game.
And, he's showing all of his ability. It was funny. Last week he talked about he shouldn't have never cut it back, and we agreed. And, bottom line is if you get caught and ran out of bounds, that's fine. If you can cut one guy back, usually you can do that. But normally, the bad guys are coming, so just stay on the edge and go. And he set the safety up. It's hard to see on film, but he set the safety up real nice on that and gave him a little do-dat and kept running to the sideline. So, kudos to Parker and the way he's playing. But we've seen that. We saw it last year, and we saw it coming. We knew he was our guy. We felt like he was our guy. We brought Cord in and DJ Boney and Elias Allen to compete, and Parker rose to the competition and improved. And we just felt like what he brings to us is more than just the game. He brings leadership. He brings a lot of different things to us, and so we're really excited about where Parker's going. We got to keep him healthy, and we've been good on that so far. So, and then Nations has come in and really done well on his kickoffs. Except for a couple, and really struck the ball well in his field goals. So, he's got an exceptionally strong leg, and so we feel good with him from a lot of different areas. But he's been really accurate for us and really helped us take our special teams to another level as far as his position goes.
Yeah, and what you see with Parker, I think, is just a confident kid. When we talked back over the summer, we did a feature on him in the Richmond Register, and you talked about last season when you came in particularly the Houston Baptist game, where Houston Baptist took the lead late, You guys got the ball back, had a chance. He scrambles out of the pocket, he fumbles the ball, and after the game, he's devastated. He's just, and he was afraid you were going to take him out of the starting lineup because the previous 2 years, it's hard to believe this kid's been here 4 years. Still only a redshirt sophomore. Right. But the previous 2 years, they used as many as 4 different quarterbacks, and there was this almost constant rotation. So he was afraid if he screwed up and that he would get pulled. And you pulled him aside and said, no, you're our guy. Go in there. Those are your players. Talk to them. And it's your team. Lead them. Right. And since then, he's been like a different quarterback.
Well, everybody needs a little confidence every now and then. Yeah. And I think that's, as coaches, you've got to have a feel for your team, your players. As a position coach, you got to know your position and everything that goes with it. You can get a lot more with, I worked for Coach Kidd, obviously, but I worked for a guy before him named Herschel Moore, and Coach Moore used to always go up to the building to try to get something done for us, get us a little more, it was the NAIA school, so we're trying to get another T-shirt maybe, and I go, and somebody go up there and get after him, Coach. He goes, nah, boys. He goes, sometimes you get more with honey than you do with vinegar. and so, with Parker, I think that was the case. I think he, I'm not, no disrespect to anybody that was here in the past, but I think it was a revolving door a little bit at that position for whatever reasons there was. But very pleased with our decision with Parker and
not good. You saying Patrick?
Yeah, I know. I was about to say
I screwed up and now I made him screw up.
I almost call him Peyton because that's his brother, and so he just. He's just been good for us, and he's such a good person. I mean, that's the key. When your quarterback's a good player and a good person, it makes life a lot easier for you.
Yeah, and we joke about he's got 10 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
he's the active career rushing leader at EKU right now in yards and in touchdowns.
Well,
don't let him know that right
now. No, I mean, he's still not Usain Bolt.
No. But he's the leading rusher right now.
But he is for us. That's all that matters.
Hey, but it's working, so you gotta stay with it. It's a great story. If you go back to our website, he's from a little town in Tennessee called Coalfield. Actually, it's not even a town; it's an unincorporated community.
Right.
Don't have a McDonald's, don't have a Walmart. They did finally get a Dollar General there.
Well, that's good. That's good. You got to get something, right?
Yeah, you got to have something there. So, but
they're close enough to Knoxville; they can get somewhere. But it's he's and I'd heard about him in my time in Tennessee and everything that they'd been doing there. His high school, they won state championships. He was Mr. Football. Unfortunately, he lost both his coaches to COVID, and it was a sad situation. And I know Parker, was really close to them, but won state championships, and like I said, won Mr. Football. And matter of fact, I went back and watched his junior. We were evaluating a junior quarterback, and I watched this one kid, and I liked him. But, you're like, and I went back and watched this, Parker's junior, and I was like, well, okay, all right. Now it brings it, and so that was good for me to do, and we ended up offering the young man. So, he'll end up getting more offers too. But I mean, it was interesting to watch his tape and see some of the similarities to right now as it was to back then, and how much he's grown, physically, obviously, and improved.
Yeah, that's why you mentioned Cord Sandberg. It's such an interesting story there, and I hope to maybe later in the season sit down and talk with him. But he's 26, is that right?
Something like that. I'm not for sure his accurate age.
We went and
he's older than some of our quality control coaches.
Yeah. We went and played 4 years of professional baseball after high school. Then went to Auburn for a couple of years. He's married. So he's and you guys have used him as a receiver. You tried to run some trick plays with him, all kinds of stuff. So you tried to get him in there a little bit.
Well, he's such a good young man, and he's such a good teammate, and he's an athlete. I mean, he played center field, so he can run a little bit. Yeah. And it's funny. I think it was Abilene where he got the catch. I can't remember, but they put him out there, and he came to the sideline and told me a story. He's like, "Yeah, coach, they were screaming, hey, the backup quarterback's in. He's dead. He's dead." And then we ran all verts with him, and of course the corner jumped on to the I think it was Dak was running down the middle in the slot, and he was wide open, and Parker found him, and like I said, I mean, he can track a baseball. He can track a football, I would think. And so he did a nice job of getting us some good yardage there. And I think we went in and scored on that drive, best I can remember. But he's a really good athlete. He came in and feel comfortable with him at quarterback. I really do. But Parker's just playing at a high level right now, and it's knock on wood, it stays that way, and we'll continue to find ways to get Cord to football.
Yeah, lots of other guys getting involved. Matt Wilcox Jr. had 11 catches last week. The kid down from Wayne County, Braden Sloan, had his first touchdown, first catch and first touchdown.
Right.
It was on the same play, and Yeah, Condre McGlure got his first college touchdown, and
that's a good week. It was a good day for that's what's good about our offense, and that's what's been kind of hindering our offense at times. Is we're young, we're learning on the run a little bit, but these guys are continuing to produce value for themselves by giving us confidence with the plays that they make in the game. So their value becomes our value as a team, and it really helped us out. I mean, you got Jaden Higgins making a big touchdown catch. You got Jaden Smith making some big catches, and then the 2-point conversion. Like you said, Keandre with the score, but he also had some big runs to get us down there. And then, Braden Sloan, who is going to be a really good player for us, and so we're really excited about him getting that catch. And I think you saw his speed with his size when he took off down the sideline. So a lot of good things going on. We've got some young tight ends. I mean, like I think last week, Dak's learning every week. And, of course, he's, when you play quarterback, you get hit, but you don't get hit every play like you do at tight end, and so he's fighting through all that and learning how to fight through that. Malik Owens is coming on at tight end. Reese Atkins is coming on at tight end. So, Jake Sloan is too. So I really feel like, we're developing some playmakers that, hopefully can stay around for a while. Yeah. And Matt's the old guy, Matt's been here forever. Yeah. It seems like anyway. Yeah. He's steady. He's going to run the right routes. He's going to catch the ball. He's going to block. He's going to do the things that he has to do. And he doesn't have to be this way, but he's the tough guy. He's the tough yardage guy. He's the over the middle catch. He's those kind of guys, and you got to have a guy like that. And he I think he relishes that role, and I think he excels in that role. So we're fortunate to have him leading that room, because he's teaching those guys, how to survive a season, with your body and all the things that you have to do. So we're blessed to have Matt on our team.
Not afraid to go over the middle and take.
No, he'll take a hit, and he'll dish one out, which will get us 15. He's done it for about 3 times now. Hopefully he's done with that. But I mean, I get it. He looks at me like, Coach, well, I'm like, guys, you can't do it. I mean,
it's just that simple.
I get it. I love it too. I wish it wasn't a rule, but it is a rule, and they're going to drop it every time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, on your defense, you got a bunch of playmakers. You guys second in the country in defensive touchdowns, fourth in the country in interceptions. And early in the year, you guys were giving up a lot of yards, but not so many points. But now it's even come back down a little bit. And of course, the Hudson kid let you guys up last week a little bit, but he's a tremendous player.
Well, and with that, we wanted to take out 5, and so we pushed to 5. And 5 was a really good player too. So we picked our poison with him, because last year he was the one that hurt us probably more. And we knew 1 was a good player. I mean, he is. Hudson's he's a phenomenal player. It was funny in the middle of the second to third quarter, 5 starts screaming at me. He goes, Coach, you got to quit doubling me and start doubling him. I said, no, we're going to take one of y'all out, Yeah. And he was good about it. And after the game, I said, we probably made the right decision, huh? And he said, oh, look at his yards. I said, yeah, look at the scoreboard. Yeah. And I walked off.
Well, neither one of them did much in the second half.
That's right. And they're really good players, and they do a good job with their scheme. And their quarterback, like I said, he's seen it all. He's 6 years. Mm-hmm. And so, but our defense, you're right, early on was giving up yardage, and it's like I told Jake. I said, Jake, I don't care how much yardage you give up. Now, eventually we got to, it's got to match. Mm-hmm. But the only stat that I really worry about is the win and loss stat. Mm-hmm. And so if we can keep them out of the end zone, scoring defense is number 1 to us, and you got to keep them out of the end zone. And we've had with 3 goal line stands, and should have been 4. Mm-hmm. And then we had some 4th down stops too in the middle of the field. So, I'm really proud of the staff and what they've done. Jake and Chris Franklin, Jeremy Hawkins, Derek Day, and Mike Dietzel. I mean, those guys have really come together and been together for 2 years, except for Mike. We added Mike into the fold, and I think he's brought some things to us that were really, good for us, and nothing against anybody that was, nothing against Shannon Morrison or anybody that was here before. Shannon was a great coach and doing a great job at Marshall. But, I think just second year for Jake, and another older guy, the experienced guy coming in has helped. But Jake does a great job of worrying about what's important and understanding, what can happen. And I think now in this defense, because Jake started running this last year I think he was at Murray, and then we added what I wanted to do with it, and he understands. All right, what tool to go to fix the car, so to speak. And so when something's not going right, he knows where to go a little more and more each week and each year. And our players have done a great job. I mean, you start up front with how we can rotate two and a half lines. And we rotate them by series, not by play. Well, it depends on how long the drive is. But, those guys, it starts with Shane Burks, Roland Walder, Q Floyd, T.K. McClendon, Ryan Jackson, and Kelton Dawson. And then you still got Gabe Fletcher and Big Bacon there and Gregory Green. And so those are the 9 that travel. And it all starts up front. They're doing a heck of a job. And then you get the backers. Kyle Bailey, is the captain of one of the captains of our defense, but he makes all the calls and all the adjustments. Him and Eli Hairston, and then Matt Jackson's an All-American. I mean, watch him play Saturday. I mean, he had to go play jack some. He had to go play some different positions, and he's going against 6'6", 290-pound linemen and just pressing them out and doing things that are going to garner the attention of the next level. And he will play at the next level. He needs another year at college, I think, but he'll play at the next level and be successful at it, because him and Kyle Bailey have really changed our defense. Matt started last year with how hard he plays, but then you bring in Kyle, who tries to match. They each try to match each other's intensity every day, and in practice. I mean, it's fun to be a part of. And then then we go to the back end. You got a guy like Baker, who comes in, who doesn't say a word, but just is so big, long, and can do some things. And Davion Ross, and I really like getting Jaden Woods back with JoJo Sells, and those two guys are holding it down in the middle for us back there. And then you got John Blunt Jr., who's with that three-man rotation at corner. We lost Josh Hayes to a broken foot, so we'll get him back maybe for a 7th year. So it'll be it's just crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's interesting to really proud of our defense. I know I'm going on and on about them, but I'm just proud of them because they're knocking people back. They're doing some of the we're working on our tackling in space, and we're working on our vision in our mod coverage and our match coverage, I should say, and the different things that we run. So pleased with both sides of the ball, to be honest with you, but defense has been consistent.
Yeah, Matthew Jackson already with 67 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, an interception, 5 pass breakups, 6 passes defended, 6 quarterback hurries, and a forced fumble. That's all. I mean,
that's all he's done in what, 6 games or 7 games, whatever, 7 games. Yeah. So those are stats for a lot of people for a career, and so like I said, this is only his 2nd year of playing. And the good thing for Matt is he's played the same position, other than when we move him around in some package stuff. He's played the same position. He's just got better and better, and just a smart, intelligent, good football player.
And a good dancer, too.
He's the emotional guy for us. There's no question. He brings the juice, or whatever you want to call it. He's better than me about it. So, as long as they don't give me a penalty, it's like I tell him. I say, dude, celebrate, have fun. It's your life, but don't cost us 15. Yeah. That's all I ask.
Well, you guys play the music in between plays, and he's always just going at it.
He's going to have fun with it.
He's great. It's great for the crowd. It gets his teammates pumped up. I mean, he
loves the game. Fun. I mean, how can you not enjoy watching somebody like that play? I'd rather watch him do that than somebody just stand there like this. But if they're going to stand there like that and then go produce, I'm good with that too.
That's what matters in the end.
That's it.
All right, the Colonels will be back at home on October 30th, the night before Halloween, against Lamar, another one of these teams we've never played before.
Right.
So another one of those. Rickson Lane, the SID, has a lot of those, first ever meeting, all-time meeting 0-0. We've never played Abilene Christian, never played
Tarleton,
yeah, so a lot of those.
Just started playing Central Arkansas last year, I think, didn't we?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's, at least we're up in that series now, right?
2-1. Yeah, that's the most bizarre thing, to play somebody 3 times in less than a calendar year, less than 360 days.
You get to know them real well. I do, and it's funny. I got to know, Coach Brown, Nathan Brown. I've gotten to know him a little bit, and he's a good guy. He's good to talk to before the game, and off season we'll text or we'll be at something together, and just a nice guy.
Yeah. Real quick, going back to the Abilene Christian game. You've been doing this a long time. You coached a lot of different places, SEC all over the place. Have you ever seen the uniform thing where they got penalized for they came out with gray uniforms, and so I guess the home team is supposed to wear the lighter color uniforms. So then there's a penalty assessed to them if they wear the wrong uniforms, and they are assessed a timeout at the beginning of all 4 quarters.
Mhm.
So they lost 4 of their 6 timeouts.
Right.
And then at the beginning of each half, there's a 15-yard
penalty.
Had you ever heard of that before? Because I had not.
Well, the honest truth of it, no, I hadn't. I knew that they had to approve, home teams are supposed to wear colored, whatever your color is. Ours, obviously, maroon. And away teams are supposed to wear white.
Okay.
That's the standard contract rule. If you're going to deviate from that, you call. So, like LSU has to call every team every year that they're going to wear white against to get it approved, which becomes and goes through the SEC office and comes back. Well, so I had no clue. We're going out maroon, and so I wasn't worried about it. And where they get dressed at, we give them the basketball. There's a basketball courts in Begley, and make this story longer probably, but we put the coaches in there so they can dress away from their players, and they can the players may want to listen to all that music and all that stuff. They don't want to hear all that. They can sit all there. They don't want to see somebody maybe throwing up before the game thinking they're sick or whatever. Not worry about stuff. So we put them in there. Well, from my understanding, and I don't know if this is true, and I haven't talked to anybody, really from Abilene about it, but they started putting their players in there because it was a little cramped, which we all know that's how it is wherever you go on the road. But which we have put in a brand new mat room in there is for our off-season conditioning stuff, so we didn't want cleats and all that in there. So Gary McPeak, who is my director of football operations, and Tom Schultz, who's my equipment coordinator. Both saw them hanging that stuff up and was going to be like, no, you can't, we don't want this, da-da-da-da, and noticed the gray jerseys. Well, obviously they would have probably contacted Gary on that, and Gary would have just asked me if there's a problem. I said no, and, move on. Yeah. But they didn't contact Gary or Tom or anybody. They my understanding is they contacted the WAC, and the WAC should have contacted the ASUN, and da-da-da-da-da. Long story boring. It never got communicated. Gary understood, and Tom both understood the rule. Came to called our head of officials, got it interpreted correctly, which then alerted the officials. Came to me, asked me, if I wanted to decline or accept the penalty when the officials came to the meeting, and I'm like,
why wouldn't you
explain that to me again? And so I'm like, well, yeah, we're going to accept that penalty.
Yeah.
And so then when the officials came, they explained it to me that the 4 timeouts is automatic. I can't decline that or nothing. The only thing I could have declined was the 30 yards, and I'm like, 30 yards is 30 yards, and that happened to be the one that Patrick Nations hit out of bounds, and we also had a penalty. So both penalties, something happened. They took the one penalty of out of bounds to 35, and then we got our personal foul afterwards for them wearing the wrong jerseys, and it moved it back to the 20. So worked out great for us. It's a crazy rule. What's funny is it made the national officials tape. I had coaches from all over the country calling me like, really? That's a rule? That's a rule. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's a rule, guys. You didn't know that?
I knew that.
So it was an interesting deal. It's just a misunderstanding on their part. Their coach meant nothing. I'm sure that could have happened to us. I wouldn't have had any clue on it, because I know what we wear, and I'm just like, yeah, we're going to wear that, and assume everybody took care of everything. So
you guys won 30-15. I don't think it really affected the outcome.
And I think he would tell you that too. He did after the game, and so they scored one there in the last drive, second to last drive for them, I think it was, to make it that close. So it didn't cost them the game. It didn't help us win the game, but it's a unique rule that I don't know if you'll ever see again.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, because we had to wear maroon down in Central Arkansas. Yeah. They called us Monday and said, hey, we want a white out. And we all wear maroon. And I was like, the only way we're wearing maroon is if it goes through the league office and everybody gets an email. So when they try to penalize me, I can roll it up and say, no, right here's the email. So,
be prepared.
So that's how it's going from now on.
Well, it didn't look like a very big crowd on television, though.
I don't really pay attention to that too much.
You don't have to comment on that if you don't want to.
I don't know if there was many whites. There was a lot of purple in the stands. Let's just say I don't know if the whiteout got extremely advertised or not.
Well, you guys had 4 straight home games over here. Great crowds. It's been a great atmosphere. I know the last game was during fall break, so a lot of the students weren't there. But the first 3 games, lots of students, lots of excitement over there. So we'll be home October 30th against Lamar, 2 o'clock. So come on out
Yeah,
and
that'd
enjoy
be
that.
a good afternoon
and
game.
the Cats don't play till later in the evening, so if you're a Kentucky fan,
On
you
the road.
can come over to EKU, you can watch EKU, and then you can go home and watch, they're at Mississippi State, I think, right?
That's right. They're at Mississippi State on the road at 7, and I don't know if it's Keeneland's last day or not, but you can get on the, not advocating, but you can get on TVG and watch it. If you do anything else on an app, you can do it there, and you can do it straight from our parking lot. So come over, and we need a great crowd. It's 30th. I think they're going to have a Halloween theme. It's our breast cancer awareness game, so we'll be in pink shirts. Our players will have pink socks on, and which will really go well with maroon. It kind of looks like Pepto-Bismol sometimes, but it's a thought that counts. Yeah, and we want to honor that. And I know that we're doing some other things to bring awareness to breast cancer and try to help out in some fundraising things. And I think the administration is doing all that. But Lamar's a good opponent. They played Abilene a little closer this second time. Be interesting to see how they do against UCA this weekend. But again, we just got to go out, and and this is no disrespect to them, but it's a nameless, faceless opponent that we got to play each and every play and come out of there with a victory.
You kind of say with the media, us in the media, you kind of give us those same talking points all the time. But you really, that's kind of, it's what you guys do. You're not just blowing smoke at us. That's kind of what you guys, your core principles and how you approach things.
That's exactly right.
It's boring in a press conference.
It's boring in a press conference, and sometimes it's boring to the kids. But 15 years ago, I'd have probably been here. I'd have been like this. After every game, I'd have been rocking and rolling, and after every loss, I'd have been like, digging my own grave or something. But I just learned over the years, especially, like 4 years in the SEC kind of changes your mentality a lot. And the reason I say that is because it is 7 days away from being humbled. Every win is 7 days away from being humbled or being put up on a pedestal. And what you realize is that humbling's coming.
Yeah.
And and that even with Alabama it came, and maybe 20 games later, but I mean, it comes to each and everybody. I mean, look at Coach O this week and look at all the things. So you just learn, hey, we've got to play to a standard and continue to do everything we can to raise the standard. So that we can get the best out of everybody, and because we're going to need everybody.
Yeah. 2 o'clock next Saturday, and Randy, bring that over here.
Hand model.
Hand model. There you
go.
No
idea what that is.
There you go. Back over the summer, I came over to your office. We sat down and talked a little bit about Parker McKinney, and I got his name right that time, Parker. But
that's right.
I know his name. See, I just screwed it up. Well, you were nice enough to give me a cigar out of your collection, so I brought you a cigar today.
Oh, awesome!
So, if I can get him out of here.
You got a nice
Fuente.
That's my brand right there. That and Ashton's.
I thought you were an Ashton.
I am an Ashton, but I was a Fuente guy before the Ashtons.
Okay. Can we light them up, Randy? Can we light them up in here? Sure. Can we light them up? You want to light them up?
Oh, I'll light them up.
There you go. Let's light them up.
As long as I'm not at practice lighting them up, it's a tobacco-free campus. As long as you're not in trouble, I'm good with it. So as long as we're good, we're good.
Are you a cutter or are you a biter?
I'm a cutter.
There you go. There's a cutter.
I'm a cutter. I got a little. There we go, right there. Get all that trash out of there for you.
Yeah.
I'll clean up the place.
Yeah. I know when I talked to you after the Central Arkansas game, you had one out by the bus before you got on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Yeah, nice. Excellent. Sucking up, Nathan. I like it. That's great.
There you go, right there. Thank you. Oh, that's a good little stick right there.
Very nice.
You can't beat a Fuente Maduro, excuse me. My mom will be mad, so she'll be watching this. So, Mom, I'm sorry.
It's my fault. I made him do it.
I know. She say hi to my mom. Love you, Mom. My wife is good with it. As long as I don't do it in the house.
You can always tell the real cigar smokers, they call them sticks. So
that's right. You got to get a stick after a game, win or lose. But I love the victory sticks.
You had one by the bus, and I had one out in my garage.
There you go. Awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming by. It's
anytime.
Go Kerns, and we'll be watching. We'll be over there obviously on Saturday, and I can't make the road trips to Texas, but I'm always thank God for ESPN Plus. Now
there you go. That's right. They're all on TV, so make sure you tune in as we head the road to Texas. But we need everybody. We need all of Richmond out on the 30th, please.
Absolutely. Yeah, come on, make it a party. You're dressed up and have some fun. And You can go up there and have a drink in the little
Oh,
section
yeah.
with alcohol. So come on out.
Do whatever you need to do.
Have a good time.
You just can't smoke cigars.
Yeah. Well, that's outdoors. Maybe you can sneak off some, right? It's all right. Well, Coach, thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it. Best of luck to you the rest of the way. And that'll wrap up this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show as we smoke up the studio here. But I appreciate everybody watching. As always, check us out on social media. Twitter is Richmond R Sports, Register Sports on Facebook, and RichmondRegister.com. And, of course, all the social media sites for EKU football. Those guys do a great job, Rickson. And
Rickson's been a great addition to our to our media and social media and everything that he does. We're lucky to have him.
Yeah, lots of pictures, lots of videos, all kinds of good stuff over there. So go check them out, too. And appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you next week.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by KYmedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Thanks for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show. For more information about all things sports in Madison County, log on to richmondregister.com or on Twitter. And like us, Register Sports on Facebook. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com. Do you want to sponsor the weekly Richmond Register Sports Show? Contact the Richmond Register, richmondregister.com, and of course on Facebook or Twitter. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by KYmedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Thanks for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show. For more information about all things sports in Madison County, log on to richmondregister.com or on Twitter. And like us, Register Sports on Facebook. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.